What's up, everybody? It's Scott here at Aspiria Fitness Center with Corporate Fitness Works, and I'm bringing you guys your Dirty 30 class today. So I'm going to jump right back into this shot here and get started here. We're going to just get a quick light warm-up. We'll take our first round, which will help get our heart rate up and finish our warm-up a little bit. I'll demo our small set of exercises, and then we'll jump right to it. So I hope you guys are ready to get a workout. We're going to get sweaty, so be prepared for that as well, and we're going to take it away. So, of course, first and foremost, you want to make sure you've got that water bottle and sweat towel handy, just in case you need to hydrate or wipe some sweat. We're going to get going, so you're definitely going to want that with you. But other than that, what you see right here before me is all you'll need for class. I have a mat here, and of course my body weight. Then I've got one dumbbell at my side, and I've also got a kettlebell. So you don't need the kettlebell. I'm just electing to use that for my kettlebell swing option. Of course, you can use a dumbbell swing or any other household object that you've got would be great. So we're going to go through that right there. Our exercises quickly for our circuit that we'll demo. We're going to need one dumbbell for the first two. And this is a jack press, so classic jack and press. So our feet go out, dumbbell goes up above our head, and we turn that to under our chin. And of course, we can modify that with a press and step out. From there, we'll go onto our mat. And we've got a dumbbell pullover with alternating knees. So this is a little bit like a crunch and a pullover combined. We've only got one knee going, so here. We're just gonna pull one knee and pull over, and then back to the original position, and then we pull over with the other knee. So you can float those feet for a little bit of a challenge if you want, but we're doing alternating knees to that dumbbell for the pullover. So you can also just lose the weight and just use your arms to pull over if you like, and we can do that throughout the round. If you fatigue, you can drop the weight and continue the crunch alternating knee motion, or grab a lighter dumbbell if you got it. From there, we'll be back up on our feet, and we're going to do a dynamic pivot. We'll go two directions and then a squat. So we're in our athletic stance here, soft bend at our knee. We turn our hips, and we're going to do that once to each side, and then we're going to just do a squat. So then we'll go left, right, and squat. And of course, we can modify that to just a step back, or we can just stick with bodyweight squats. From there, we'll go to our kettlebell swing or your dumbbell swing or whatever you've got. From here, we're in that hinge position, soft bend at our knee. Arms are staying straight, shoulders and chest are tall, and we swing through there. So just modifying the intensity, or just going into a classic little bit of a deadlift motion there, hinging, still getting our glutes and hamstrings working through that round with a modification. And then we're going to go down, finishing off on our mat, or on the floor, wherever you like it, tall plank position. We'll do 4 shoulder taps, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just left, right, and then we're gonna sink backwards into our Blastoff position, and then return here for 4 more shoulder taps, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can modify to just the shoulder taps, or just holding the tall plank position if we need to finish out that round. So those are our 5 exercises for the circuit. We've got 5 rounds of that. We're gonna get through our warm up, and then just go into our open cardio round where we do our drop downs, kind of just get us warmed up. We'll do that for 3 minutes at the beginning and at the end of the circuit. So we're going to take about 30 seconds each for these first exercises. For our warm-up phase here, we've got 4 different exercises, so we're just putting 30 seconds on the clock for each one. We're going to start with our feet at hip width, and we're just going to reach down towards our toes, grabbing the ankles, and then we sit into a squat, and then stand our butt back up and come all the way back up to reverse it. So we're hinging forward, grab your toes, then we sit down and do a squat, then reverse that and come back up. So we got a couple more reps of those here. Getting our hips and hamstrings warmed up a little bit here, sinking as low as best you can. We're gonna do 2 more of those. So we're gonna get down, sinking our hips down, lift our hips back up, and then we got 1 more of those to do. So let's reach down towards our toes, sinking our hips down, raise those hips back up, and then raise back up into our standing position. So that's our first one we did for 30. We're going to keep it moving. March with a pull down. So knee comes up. Feel like we're opening up our hips a little bit here still. And we're squeezing our shoulder blades as we pull down to our armpits here. So we're going to keep going for another 15 seconds or so here. Keep it moving right along to our next exercise before we start our first little cardio drop down circuit. So we got 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax for that. So 30 seconds there. we're gonna go into our tall plank to help warm up our arms and chest, and we're just gonna do 30 seconds worth of T-spine rotation. So we're in our tall plank here along our mat. Perhaps if you're on the mat, that's fine. And we got 30 seconds here, so we're just gonna twist up to the sky, return that hand down to the mat, and we're gonna keep alternating for our 30 seconds here. Just feeling our core loosen up a little bit. We gotta keep our core active. Getting our shoulders and mid-back open up a little bit here too as we reach up overhead. 10 seconds left for this exercise. Last one on each side. There's one, and last twist up to the sky and palm back down. One more exercise here, 30 seconds to go. And we're gonna take a wide stance here, and we're gonna bend our knees as we lean to that opposite toe touch. So we're kind of doing a lateral lunge, weight shift, reach into that opposite toe. So we're feeling a stretch on the inner thigh, getting our hips involved yet again, and we're reaching down to that opposite toe. Ten seconds left here. Keep reaching. We got a couple more toe taps on each foot. We're starting to get loose. We're gonna keep warming up here. So let's get one more touch on each side. One here and one touch on the other side. So we're feeling our hips and inner thighs warm up a little bit there. Starting to feel our chest and shoulders warm up as well. So from here, we're gonna start our first of our cardio open rounds here. So we got 3 minutes on our timer. You guys will be familiar with this if we've done our 30-30 class or maybe class in person, but we've got 3 minutes. We can do any kind of movement you want to. We're gonna start just with a light jog, or we can do fast feet. We can keep a nice steady march going. We'll do 3 minutes, and every 30 seconds, we're gonna drop down to the floor and get our stomach or chest, hopefully as close to that floor as we can, and pop back up. So that's our first 3 minutes. We'll do lighter intensity here. We're just kind of getting the blood flowing, getting our heart rate up. And then we're gonna finish with fast feet at the end after our circuit round. So we're gonna take it away right now, starting with that light jogger march, just slow intensity, starting to get warmed up and getting loose here. Our clock is ticking, so we're gonna take our nice light jog here, nothing serious. We're at about, maybe 40 or 50% intensity of what we would do for like our fast feet or anything like that. We're just gonna keep moving. So you'll have your option after this drop down to continue with our stationary jog or march, or you can move on to any other kind of stationary cardio you like. But we're gonna drop down here in 3, 2, 1. Here's our first drop. So work your way down to that tall plank, sink your chest or stomach down, and hop right back up and come back to our light intensity jogger march. Again, we can take that into a nice low intensity modification for any cardio we like, so we can get some jack steps going here. We can feel our arms and shoulders working a little bit harder here. We can go for our seal jack, as they say. We got another drop here coming in 2, 1, and we're dropping down, getting our tummy to the mat or the floor, and pop back up. And we're gonna return to that light intensity cardio. We're starting to feel our body temp rise a little bit. Keeping our intensity low. We're not quite there yet, right? We're gonna start our circuit rounds and we'll go for a more higher intensity round at the end here, but we're still working through some light cardio. We've got another drop coming in 3, 2, 1. We're halfway. Let's get this drop. Get your stomach to the mat, pop it back up, and we're back to any stationary cardio you like. We can do our jacks, invisible jump rope, marching in place. We can do some kicks to each side, kick those legs out, rotate our hips with some taps. We got punches for our cardio on the top side. Anything we want here, we just gotta stay moving through these rounds. So kind of open stationary cardio. Here's our next drop. So we're dropping all the way to the floor if we can make it, and pop back up. Returning, we got 1 minute left, so that's 2 more drops. Light intensity here, we're at about 50%. Just feeling our body loosen up here, getting ready for our circuit round. So keep moving as best you can. Take any cardio you like. We can do some ski steps here as well. We've got another drop in 2, 1, and here's our drop. And we're popping up onto our feet for 1 more. 30-second block. Any stationary cardio you like before we really pick it up with our timed rounds here. So 15 seconds, switch up that cardio one more time, light intensity, last 10 seconds. Feel like we're getting nice and loose. And we're gonna go drop in 2, 1, and our last drop down. Get all the way to the floor and pop back up. Great job. All right, we're starting to feel a little looser, a little warmer. We're gonna go ahead and start our timed rounds. We've got those 5 exercises starting with the jack press. And we're gonna take it away right there, switching our timer over here. And we got that jack press starting. We got 45 seconds on the clock, 15-second transition, and we're doing 5 rounds. So we've got our weight with us, ready to go, whatever weight you're wanting. I've got my dumbbell here, or any household object, something we can hold right under our chin for our jack press. For the first round, we've got 45 seconds on the clock, and that clock starts in 2, 1, and begin. So our clock is underway. We've got our jack press here. So we're pressing that weight up as our feet jump out to the side. And of course, we're taking that step and press modification if we need to. We got 20 seconds to go roughly here. We're staying on our toes for this jack press portion, working our calves as best we can. Less than 10 seconds to go. Keep on moving. Keep that press going. Working our full body here. Good, and there's our transition, our first break. We're keeping our dumbbell or our weight in hand, and we've got our pullover crunch alternating the knee. So we're down on our mat. We got 5 seconds to get in position here. And there's our timer. So we're starting pullover to one knee at a time. And of course, to modify, we can drop our weight if we need to. Just do arms for the pullover portion. Just a classic crunch. Just work on driving one knee up if we need to as well. No pullover at all. Just working on that knee to our chest. Finish up, one more on each leg, and a crunch. Great job. We're gonna get rid of our weight for the next round. Toss that weight aside. Our next round here is our dynamic pivot. One to each direction, and then a squat. So we're doing that hip shift. And here we go. So we're gonna pivot our feet to each side, and then a squat. And of course, we're gonna step back and into a squat if we want to, or just body weight squats to get us through this round. Go for that quick shift, pivot with our hips into the squat. Do your best. We're modifying this with intensity. We're just taking that step back rather than the full dynamic pivot, or we're doing body weight squats. 15 seconds to go. Keep those dynamic pivots going, up on our toes, twisting our hips. One more set here, a pivot on each side, and we're out of time. Great job. Picking up our kettlebell here, or your dumbbell, whatever object you've got, for our swing round coming up next here. We're swinging. We've got our soft bend at our knees, tall chest and shoulders, big power from our hips to drive that weight up, keeping our back flat, letting that weight shoot back through our legs, sinking our hips back with it. "20 seconds to go. Keep working. We're doing great. Keep driving with your glutes. Big squeezes to push those hips into extension. Arms are working hard to just hold on to that weight. 5 seconds to go here. And relax. Great job. One more round here before our break. We got our 4 taps plus the Blastoff sinking back onto our heels. So we're starting in our tall plank position. So we've got tall plank. We're doing 4 taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we sink back onto our heels. Come back to our taps. 2, 3, 4, and sinking back for the Blastoff. Full body exercise here. We're just going to modify to the shoulder taps if we need to, and of course just holding on to the tall plank as we fatigue if that's necessary. 15 seconds to go. We got a couple more blasters to do. Blasters or Blastoffs, however you like to call them. 4 taps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and our last blast, finish it up with a tap. Great job. First round is underway. We got 5 of those to come. We're taking 30 seconds very quickly here to wipe sweat. Grab a drink if you need to. We're going right back to the jack press. We're gonna keep it moving this round. Keep it moving during this class, excuse me. So we're gonna stay as active as we can, just taking these 20-second, 30-second intervals. We're already about 20 seconds in right there, so we got 10 seconds. Take your time, pause the video if you need to. We're gonna get back on our feet for that jack press and reset our timer here. And we're ready to go. So our 30 seconds is up right there. Hopefully you can join back in with us as soon as possible if you need a few more minutes to rest, but we're taking it away. 3, 2, 1, and go. Round 2 is underway. We are doing our jack press back at the top. Staying up on our toes, pressing that weight overhead as we do the jack portion on our bottom half, and we're remembering our step modification if we need to. You can step if we need to recover briefly, and then come back to the deck. Traditional here if you've got it today. 15 seconds to go, keep moving. Good, and a break. We're holding on to that dumbbell. We've got our pullover crunch next up. So we're flat on our back. Dumbbell is over our head. And we're tucking one knee at a time to meet that dumbbell during the pullover. Core is tight. We're starting overhead with that soft bend at our elbows, touching that weight behind us, bringing our opposite knee up each time. And remember, we can modify this by taking the dumbbell out altogether. Just use our arms for the pullover portion, meet that knee, and we can just do an alternating knee tuck if we need to modify further. Just try and stay moving one way or the other through the round. Almost there. Finish up that last rep. Great job. We're up on our feet. We will not need the dumbbell. We're on to our dynamic pivot and squat. So we're shifting those hips side to side as quick as we can. We're in our athletic stance. We're going to pivot once to each direction and then squat. So of course we can modify into just a step and then our squat, or just bodyweight squats. Try and make these pivots fast and explosive if we can. Getting a little rotation in our core. Hips and lower body are working hard on this one here. Quick taps with those feet, right? Pivot and twist. Pivot and twist back to the center for that squat. We got another set of pivots before our time is out. Great job. Ending right on that timer. We've got our kettlebell swing round, or your dumbbell, or whatever weight you have handy with you today. Something you can swing, a backpack perhaps. We got to keep those knees bent. Big tall chest and shoulders. Lower body is doing the work for us here, driving that kettlebell forward. Great job. Keep squeezing those glutes, pushing our hips forward. Arms are coming to about shoulder or eye level. Don't need to go higher than that. Now we've got a nice hinge, shooting our hips back, keeping our chest and shoulders up, flat back. Five seconds, get a couple more good swings. Finish it out here. Great job. We've got to get down on our mat for one more tap and blast around before our break. Taps and blast off, so we got 4 shoulder taps with the blast off. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sinking back onto our heels. 1, 2, 3, 4 taps. Sinking back on the heels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember to just stick with our taps here. If we want to mod this blast off out. If we want to mod up, we can do 2 taps and a blast off, or maybe mix in a push up, or just stick with those blast offs to keep us moving a little bit more. 10 seconds to go. 4 taps and a blast off. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll get that blast off in there to end our round. Great job. Another 30 seconds or so going on our clock. Wiping our sweat. We're starting to get sweaty. We're working hard. We got that body temp up with our open cardio round. We're sweating already. We got 3 more of those rounds to go, and we'll finish out with another cardio burnout round. We're wiping sweat. We got about 10 seconds. Grab a drink if you need to. We're going back to the top with our jack press, or maybe that jack step modification with the press overhead, and we're ready to go. Our clock is ticking. That's our 30 seconds right there. Starts in 3, 2, 1. Round 3 is underway. Clock is ticking. Jack press. Staying up on our toes as best we can. Keep it going. Great job. This is a tough one, especially if we've got a bigger weight. Do your best. Drop the weight if you need to. And don't be afraid to take that step to the side. Come back to the traditional jack if you can. Finishing the round. And there's our break. Great job. Keep that dumbbell handy. We've got our crunch coming up. We're flying right through these rounds. Pull over with our knee. Dumbbells overhead. We've got that soft bend at our elbows. We're modifying this by taking the weight out, or just maybe doing those alternating knees or a knee tuck. We can still do our pullover without a weight, just pulling those arms over, crunching elbows to that knee, trying to keep our core active either way throughout the round as best we can. Keep moving. One more crunch and back to extension overhead. Great job. We're back on our feet here. We've got another dynamic pivot round. So remember, go for that step back on each side in between a squat. Otherwise, we're snapping those hips side to side. We're gonna have athletic stance. Snap those hips to each side, sink into a squat. 1, 2. Quick taps with our feet. Tap and return, tap and return. Good, and squat. We want to make those pivots as fast as we can. Going for a little bit of explosiveness from our hips and core there. Modifying to the step back if we need to, or just doing some body weight squats here to keep those hips and thighs active. One more pivot and it's squats. Great job. We gotta grab our kettlebell or whatever you're swinging. We're keeping the intensity up. Big, tall chest and shoulders. Power from our hips. Forcing those hips into extension. Clock is ticking. Keep swinging with that big, tall chest, keeping our back flat, core is active, shooting those hips back, big power from our hips and that extension to get that kettlebell swinging. We got 10 seconds, let's keep going, come on. One more swing, get it in there, let's make it extra swing, there it is, great job. Down onto our mat, 4 taps and a blast off. Remember, we can mod that up by taking the taps out or doing fewer taps, more blast offs. We can mod down by adding taps or removing the blast off altogether. So we're just gonna do taps, or we maybe just hold the tall plank. 3 and 4. Sink back onto the heels for the blaster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sinking back. Full body exercise on this one to finish the round. It's tough. Keep working. Take those mods. Add some more shoulder taps in between each blast off if you need to, or take them out altogether. 10 seconds to go here. Get 1 or 2 more in. 3 and 4. Big blast off. Coming back to our taps for the last one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tap right on the money there to finish. That is round 3. We are wiping sweat again because we're dripping. And we've got another 30 seconds to go. We got 2 more rounds coming your way before we finish out our burner round. So hope you guys are sticking with me here. Grab that drink if you need it. Continue wiping that sweat for a few more seconds. We got about 10 seconds to go. Round 4 is about to happen. Get that dumbbell ready for our jack press. Don't be afraid to take that mod if you need it. Just try and stay moving through the whole round. Our 30 seconds is up, which means our round starts in 3, 2, 1, and go. Clock is ticking on our 4th round. Jack press. Core stays tight here as we press overhead. We're staying on our toes, doing our best. Dropping the weight if we need to, if our upper body is starting to fatigue. 10 seconds to go, keep it moving, let's go. Almost there. Our last jack, nicely done. Down on our mat, we've got our crunch pullover. Knee to our dumbbell. Elbows are just bent a little bit to get that pullover portion just right. Starting overhead, crunching that dumbbell to our alternating knee. Dropping the dumbbell if we need to, just pulling our arms over. Make sure we try to get that full extension though, over our head, whatever you're doing. Getting our lats involved, getting our hips, core, hip flexors, everything's working hard here. Keep finishing up the round, we're almost there. Keep fighting. 2, 1, and break. Awesome job. We're fighting through round 4. You guys are doing great. Stick with me, we're up on our feet. We've got our hip pivots with our squat. Taking that step back as we fatigue, or maybe we're just doing body weight squats here. And if we're pivoting, we're making them quick, as quickly as we can tap those feet to each side into our squat. Boom, boom. Quick shifts in our hips. setting up for that squat. Trying to stay on our toes. Active position with our knees and hips. We're in a very shallow squatted athletic position. Legs are getting tired. We got 5 seconds. Good, and there's a break. Great job. We've got our kettlebell swing coming up next. Swing it to shoulder or eye level. Glutes and hams are doing all the work. So our arms are just holding on to this weight. There's our clock ticking. Tall chest and shoulders. Back is flat. Controlling our breathing. We're in this home stretch of rounds here, so we're getting fatigued. We're tired, we're breathing hard. Pause the video or take a quick break if you need to. Jump back in with us. 15 seconds left on our swings. Make sure we're squeezing those glutes, hinging our hips here. One more swing, let's go, get it, last one, and relax. Great job. Get down on our mat for taps and blasters. Modifying this with our number of shoulder taps or removing the blaster altogether. 4 taps, here we go. Up in tall plank. 1, 2, 3, 4, and sit back on those heels. 1, 2, 3, 4, sitting onto heels. 1, 2, 3, 4, sitting onto heels. Remember, we're adding taps if we need a little bit of break in between those blast-offs. And if we're picking up the intensity, we're taking the taps out. We're just doing 2 taps. So that number will change depending on how we want to modify intensity here. 10 seconds to go. Let's get our blast-off in. See if we can get one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a blast-off. Awesome job. Wipe that sweat. We're dripping. I hope you guys are working as hard as I am. We've got one more round. We've got our 30-second recovery block. One more round of our circuit and we'll finish out with our 3-minute fast foot burnout round similar to the one we started with. We'll pick up that intensity just a little bit to finish us out. So we got about 10 seconds to go, which means we're up on our feet, dumbbell in hand for our last round of 5 on our circuit, starting with our jack press. Don't be afraid to take that modification as we're getting tired, right? We're fatigued, we're working hard. Lots of exercise here. Quick breaks, so take the break if you need it. We're ready to go. We got a little extra time here on this round, but we're gonna fire it up. Our last round of 5. Jack press is on the clock in 3, 2, 1, and go. Last round, up on our toes. Staying on those toes, jumping if we can, pressing that weight up, taking our tap mod. If we need to, side taps, come back to the jack if you can as you recover through the round. It's our last set here, so let's give it all we got. Don't quit. Less than 20 seconds on our jack press. We're getting tired. We're working hard. Finish strong here. Couple more reps. Keep moving. And a break. Awesome job. No more jack press. We're down on our mat with our dumbbell pullover, crunching that knee up to meet the dumbbell. Here we go. Soft bend at the elbow. Trying to reach that full extension overhead. Maybe we're just modifying to arms only, no dumbbell. Maybe we're just doing knee tucks, alternating knee tuck without the pullover to modify here. And of course, we're Continuing with the weight otherwise. We've got about 10 seconds to go. Keep pushing through, driving that knee up to the dumbbell. Great job. We're tossing our weight aside. We're up on our feet. For the last few here, we've got our dynamic pivot switch here with our hips. So make sure we're snapping those hips, one to each direction. We're in our athletic stance here, pivoting left and right into our squat. Trying to snap those hips, bouncing on our toes. And we're just going for our step back, kind of opening up our hips in between those squats. Or we're just gonna stick with those nice bodyweight squats here. Let's try and get some of those pivots in here. Get those hips and core really working for our last 15 seconds here. Up on our toes, left and right. Squats, let's go. Quick shifts, quick shifts. And relax. Awesome job. 2 rounds to go. Grab that kettlebell or your dumbbell, whatever you're swinging today. We got one more set of swings. We're keeping that proud and tall chest. Arms are staying close to our body here. Shooting those hips back. Squeezing glutes for our swing. Our clock is ticking. It's our last swing round here. One more blast off round. And we're almost there. We're in the home stretch here. About 3 to 4 minutes of work left in the class before we cool down. Keep swinging here, under 20 seconds. Almost there, 1 or 2 more swings, big swings from the glutes. Power and break. Great job. One more time on the mat for those taps and blasters. 5 seconds to go. We're finishing strong here. Here we go. We're in our tall plank. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 taps with our blast off, modifying our number of taps as the round goes on if we need to. Sticking with 4, adding some to mod down, removing some to mod up. "20 seconds to go before we finish out our final block. "10 seconds to go. Let's get one more set of taps and blasts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last blast. And we're back to starting position. Great job. Our circuit is complete, you guys. Way to push through. We're wiping our sweat. We're giving just about 30 seconds here. Again, and we've got one more round to work through our 3 minutes. Same as we did before, we'll pick up the intensity, so every 30 seconds, we're gonna drop and hit the mat. So you can stick with just the march or that jog in place. You can modify your cardio however you want through those transition rounds. We kind of try to stay active for the whole 3 minutes. Try and get that tummy as close to the ground as you can and pop back up. So we're gonna switch right back over to our stopwatch timer. That's gonna help us time this 3-minute round. And we are ready to go. So you gotta grab that drink if you need it right now. 3 minutes, continuous timer on the clock left here, modifying the intensity as you need to with this cardio. So we're starting, once again, just a sprinter or a jog in place here. Our clock is ticking, so we're gonna try and keep our feet moving. We're at a little bit more intense pace than our intro round here. We're getting our arms a little more involved here. Working that sprint a little bit more than we were in kind of a light jog. We're getting those arms pumping. Knees are going a little bit more here. Stick with the march if we need to. We're dropping in 3, 2, 1, and drop. Got to get down to the mat. Popping back up on your feet and keep that sprinter going as best you can. Maybe we're doing fast feet on the ground. However we want to modify this intensity. We're going to keep moving. Either way, you can switch to a jack or any other cardio you like as well here. Dropping in 3, 2, 1, and we're dropping all the way down. There's 1 minute. We got 2 minutes to go. We're jogging. We're pumping our arms. Doing your best here. Modify to that march. If we need to recover, hopefully you can come back to that sprinter. Keep moving as best you can. We got our third drop coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're dropping all the way down. Pop back up. Keep it moving. 90 seconds to go. Switch to jacks here if we want to. Any other kind of stationary cardio, skater jumps, cardio, kickboxing, knees, high knees, whatever we want to do. Just got to stay active. We got about a minute to go. We're pumping arms and legs. Higher intensity than our warm-up, right? Dropping in 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop all the way down. Pop back up. It's our final 60 seconds on the clock. Keep those arms moving. Keep pumping the knees. Keep churning. Do your best. Modular march if we need to. We're going to try and stay as active as we can. We've got a drop coming in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and drop. Pop it back up. We got 30 seconds to go. Sprint it out. Stay moving. Do your best. Push it, push it, push it. Here we go. It's our last 15 seconds. Sprint. Keep those arms and feet moving. Let's go. Come on. Finish it out. Less than 10 to go. We got one more drop and we're cooling off. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Get all the way down on the mat. Drop it down and pop back up. Woo! Great job, you guys. That was our 30-minute burnout round. We're going to take a breath here, wiping our sweat, and we're going to get a cool down in here and get ourselves nice and cool down. We're going to start that with our box breathing. We want to think about 3, 4, 5 second inhale here, big slow inhale as we reach up overhead. We stay here for about 4 or 5 seconds. And we're blowing our air out down towards our toes, where we'll stay for 5 seconds as well. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big breath in. Slow inhale overhead. We're holding up here at the top. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big exhale, blow all that air out. All the way down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll hang here. Big breath in. Slow, big stretch all the way up overhead. 5, 4, 3, 2, blow all that air out slow. Exhale down towards our toes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're hanging here. One more cycle. 3, 2, and 1. Big breath in. All the way up overhead. And we're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Last time blowing all that air out. Then we hang here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, great job. We're starting to get that heart rate slowed a little bit, controlling our breathing. We're going to take our half kneeling position here, and we're going to do a nice folded hinge here with a rotation. So we're going to work about 20 seconds. Open up your hip a little bit if we need to, and we're going to try and get either fists or palms down on the floor in this position here. So we're hinging forward, blowing all that air out. So now we've got a nice stretch over here and on the back of our hip, and we're holding here for about 20 seconds. So we're holding for another 10 seconds or so here. And we're gonna take our foot side hand, so my high knee side hand, and we're gonna twist up to the sky. And we'll do that in 2, 1, and go. So now we're getting a little bit of rotation in our core and spine. And we're gonna hold that position up here for 20 before we switch our position at the bottom on our knees here. So we got about 10 seconds left. We're working on our breathing here. We're gonna slowly close that arm up, bring that palm back down to the mat. And let's go ahead and come all the way back up here with our chest. And we're gonna shift that position. So let's switch to our other side. Other knee is up. And we're gonna do the same. We'll spend about 20 seconds. We're gonna hinge forward in here. So palms or knuckles, however we can get down comfortably. And we're holding here for about 20 seconds before we again take our foot side hand or our high knee side hand up to the sky. And we'll do that here in about 5, 4, 3, 2. So we're taking that foot side hand, open up our chest, twist all the way up to the sky, driving that shoulder blade back as best you can. Focusing on our breathing here. We're holding this position. We got about 10 seconds to go. We'll reverse and come back into that bottom position and reset it all. 3, 2, 1, and let's close that palm up back down to the ground. Go ahead and raise our chest up, and we're gonna get back into our normal kneeling position here. We're doing one more for the full body. We're doing our classic child pose to finish up here. So we'll spend about 20 or 30 seconds in that pose. So we're in our tabletop, and we can open up our hips just a little bit if you want. Sink back into that kind of a frog child combo pose here, and then we're just gonna let our head hang to the mat. Stretching out our shoulders and mid-back here. Slow, deep breaths here. Go ahead and reset it if you want to. Come up here, take a big breath in, and let's get about another 10 or 15 seconds. Sink back onto those heels, blow all that air out. Hang our head to the mat for 10 seconds left here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Blow all that air out. 2, 1, and relax. So we can come right back into our classic tabletop position here if you need to. Take a few more breaths from that position. Sink back into that child pose once more if you'd like to just lay flat on your mat and get a little bit more recovery that way. You can do so just focusing on that slow breathing, trying to bring our heart rate down a little bit. I'm sweating like usual. I hope you guys are too. This was our Dirty 30 with a little extra, maybe Dirty 35 or so. Hope you guys liked the workout. As always, leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you liked or didn't like. I hope you guys got a great workout. Hopefully we'll see you back in the fitness center soon here at Hesperia. I'm Scott. Have a great day.